Hey guys, it's Sandro here and welcome to part 3 in the final chapter of the detail on this 10-year-old Mitsubishi Pajero bushbasher, where I'll be dressing and sealing the finish before showing you guys the final finish results. So with the vehicle being fully washed, decontaminated and corrected, the first step of sealing and finishing the vehicle was dressing the tyres. For this I used Zano's Z16, which is without a doubt one of my all-time favourite tyre dressings. The process is more or less like painting the dressing on the tyres with a brush section by section. And for large knobby off-road tyres like these, I just find that brush-applied tyre dressings are so much easier to get a good consistent result over all those dramatic tyre patterns. If you get any drips falling on the rims, just wipe them off. It's no big deal and sometimes hard to avoid. But overall, you should find it to be quite a quick and effective process. The other great thing about Z16 is that after about half an hour, it will self-level and the blue tinge will turn clear, so you don't have to do anything else after it's on besides give it some time to cure. Now if you do want more of a matte finish with Z16, you can, after about half an hour or so, wipe it back with a cloth. But on this particular vehicle, I actually like that richer satin to mild gloss finish, so I decided not to wipe it back, which was just a personal choice. In preparation for the paint sealant and trim dressings, I gave the entire vehicle a quick blow down with some compressed air, which was then followed by an IPA wipe down. So this serves a couple of purposes. Firstly, it's going to remove compounding dust that's settled on the vehicle and hopefully blow most of it off into the ground where I'll mop it up. And secondly, the IPA wipe is a way of me checking for any compound residue and polishing oils I may have missed, so that when I apply both my dressings and sealant, the paint and trims should be in a nice clean state to create a good lasting bond with those products.
La vie est un bon voyage, j'ai envie de vivre et lire des livres de ces
Next up was dressing and protecting the exterior plastic and rubber trims. For this I used CarPro Pearl with a foam applicator. What I find is really key to a good plastic and rubber protectant application, besides the obvious pre-cleaning preparation, is really just taking the time to thoroughly massage the dressing into the surface and then letting it sit for about half an hour to an hour before leveling down any high spots or excess product on the surface. I also find that when trims are a little more weathered or faded, it's usually quite beneficial to do a second application after a couple of hours or so, as the first layer tends to get soaked up, leaving room for more. While on newer and better conditioned trims, there's usually no real benefit in doing that second layer, as the trim may not be able to take it on. Exterior trim dressings and their finish can be a very personal thing, but in many cases you can also alter the way they look and how they finish in relation to achieving a higher gloss finish to satin finish, or even a more matted down finish depending on your taste. So the way you can achieve a higher gloss finish with a dressing like Pearl is to use it undiluted and layer it after about half an hour or so without wiping it down with a cloth. While if you wanted a really matte finish with Pearl, you dilute it quite heavily with water, stick to a single layer, and then quite thoroughly level it down with a microfiber cloth. And if you wanted a satin look, you'd do something in between these two processes. I'm personally in the category of sometimes liking a little gloss, sometimes wanting a satin finish, and other times looking for quite a matte finish, all depending on the vehicle I'm dressing and what I think best suits its look. So as I've shown in past videos on my own personal cars, I do seek out different finishes with tyre and both exterior and interior dressings, depending on how they look and complement each individual vehicle and its unique trims and character. The last step was protecting and enhancing the paint, in which I used Nova Luster spray coating to seal the finish. Now in my experience, Luster has on average a 3 to 6 month durability lifespan, obviously depending on the vehicle's environment, use and maintenance. But the thing I really love about Luster is its amazing ability to add some insane amounts of gloss, saturation and just crazy slickness to the finish of car paint. So on a job like this, where I wasn't able to remove as many defects as I'd like, or get the best possible finish due to time and cost restraints, Luster is just a fantastic choice to further hide and fill in a little of that compounding haze and defects to significantly boost the overall look and finish of the paint. As someone who uses spray sealants all the time and has for a good 10 years or so, it's really become second nature. But I do know that some people tend to struggle with them at first, especially if they're used to using more old school waxes and sealants. The important thing to understand about a spray coating like Luster is that it instantly and rapidly bonds to the paint. So the way to correctly apply it is to prime a first cloth with a few sprays of Luster to start with, then apply a few sprays directly on a square meter or so panel area and use that first cloth to spread the product over it until it's almost gone. A second cloth is then immediately used to clean up any high spots and finish streak free. So in other words, work small sections, work quickly, and make sure the panel is cool and out of direct sunlight. What you'll also sometimes notice or experience with luster and other spray sealants, depending on the paint, climate, and specific product, is some mild hazing, wiping marks that look like little blue or purple flares in the light's reflection. In most cases, this is just some curing that the sealant still has to do and will do on its own, given a few minutes to self-level. And in order for that to happen, you need to stop wiping and pushing that final product residue from one area to another and just allow it to sit, cure, and self-level on its own. So what you'll hopefully see in the footage, and definitely in the final shots, is that those wiping marks with bluish tinge reflections only self-leveled on the paint once I stopped and allowed the sealant to do its thing and self-level on its own. Well guys, it's getting to that time where I'm going to have to wrap up this series. I do really hope you guys enjoyed this one, as for me it was one of my most challenging and satisfying jobs with all things considered. And I can tell you that the owner was extremely happy and grateful with the result, which made it especially rewarding from my end. My professional detailing journey, from local car washes to car dealerships, to working from my garage at home, to mobile detailing out of my van, to getting into a shop, has definitely been quite a challenging and interesting one, especially with the addition of sharing some of that decades-long journey over the past 5 years on this channel. What I've come to realize looking back is that I really enjoyed and found value in all aspects of that journey, and without taking that road with all its turns and obstacles, I wouldn't be the detailer or person I am today. Nothing worthwhile comes easy, and everything worth having takes effort. So next time you're feeling a little down or overwhelmed with work or life, just remember that with hardship comes the potential to overcome, and overcoming obstacles is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. If you enjoyed this video and would like to say thanks and help support future content, you can do so by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/ccad, in which I'll have a link to in the description box, and thank you everyone for the support so far. As always, I really hope you guys enjoyed and found this video useful. Please give it a like, share it with others, and comment below to show your support for this content, and I'll see you guys soon.
How are you?
Not bad.
How you going,
Beautiful
sir?
job, huh?
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I came here just for the holograms mainly, and then obviously.
Yeah, you came here for the holograms, but you got a lot more.
Yeah, I've got a lot more. Yeah.
It's like a
Actually
different
easy.
color. Different color.
You
know, right?
What kind of black is this? It's like
It's a metallic black.
metallic black. Yeah,
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
I couldn't see any
Nah,
of this.
you wouldn't see the flakes before.
Before it
but
was
now-
black like
yeah.
like
Yeah,
like
like
this one here.
plastic.
Like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, different color.
Completely different, yeah. Oh, I'm so happy with it. Beautiful.
You know, your job next, I want you to give the interior a good clean.
A good clear.
okay?
I know, yeah.
'Cause now when you open the doors, it looks like two different cars.
You don't want to drive anymore.
Yeah, here's the key.
Oh, that's perfect. Beautiful. I'm so happy. Thank you very much.
No, that's great.